Let's bring in the senator from the great state of Wisconsin. Republican Ron Johnson joins us. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Absolutely terrible what happened in Waukesha on Sunday night at the Christmas parade. But what do you make of the fact that, as it turns out, it sounds like this guy was driving so fast down Main Street because he'd been involved in a domestic dispute involving a knife, and he was trying to get away from who knows what, killed all those people. He probably should not have been out on bond.
Well, it was a horrific tragedy, and that's part of the tragedy, that this probably never should have happened. We really do need to review our criminal justice system. It just seems like we've gotten into this argument now with the left. They want a revolving door. They want catch and release, whether it's on the southern border or whether it's through our criminal justice system. And so you have crime now spilling over from high crime regions into, communities like Waukesha that, listen, there's still crime in Waukesha, but it's a low crime area in general. And so it's starting to spill over, and people need to start asking the questions about our criminal justice system releasing violent criminals.
It baffles us that some of these elected officials continue to get elected with some of these radical, some of their radical agendas. Like Kamala Harris supported that bail fund for violent rioters back in 2020. Congressman Rashida Tlaib is saying she signed a plan to release every single person from prison over the next 10 years. Listen to this. Federal prison. Listen.
Have you wrestled with any potential downsides of releasing into society every single person who's currently in a federal prison?
Yeah, I think that everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to just release everybody. That's not what I'm saying. But did you see how many people are mentally ill that are in prison right now?
No, I know, but the act that you endorsed actually says release everyone in 10 years.
But think about it. Who are releasing?
But there are like human traffickers,
I know.
Child sex. So, but you're saying, do you mean that you don't actually support that? Because you endorsed the bill.
No, look at the folks that are mentally ill, that have substance abuse problems. Why aren't you asking me about them? You're asking me about the human traffickers and others that should.
I'm trying to understand. Your proposal is so sweeping. It does release everyone. And what I'm trying to say to you is
within 10 years, and obviously there's a process.
In your vision, there is still whatever proportion they are, a small proportion who do need to be behind bars.
Yeah, again, I would have to look at every case individually and figure that all out.
So you can't even commit to that.
Senator, what do you think about that?
Well, let's face it, when you look the other way, when you almost encourage lawlessness, let's face it, you had political figures during the summer riots of 2020 encouraging people to donate to the bail fund so you could bail these people out. You encourage no bail or very low bail. When you encourage lawlessness, you're going to get more of it. It becomes more and more violent. It starts spilling over from crime-ridden, generally Democrat-governed cities into the surrounding areas. And I think that's probably what we witnessed here in Waukesha. It's a tragedy. We need to tighten things up. We need to actually put violent criminals in jail and keep them in jail. We can't continue this catch and release, whether it's at the southern border or whether it's in our criminal justice system in crime-ridden cities.
But it doesn't seem like there's a force that's electing these attorney generals in all these states in order to do just that, whether it's New York, whether it's California, or whether it's small cities and big cities. What is behind this movement to legalize crime and release criminals in empty prisons? It was almost as if China or Russia is in control of our legal system. This is the most devious thing that could happen to American society.
No, this is an initiative by the left. It's funded by, in parts, George Soros, but Eric Holder and a number of Democrat leaders have been encouraging this. Again, you can't explain it. They'll never admit to it. They'll never admit they're wrong. And unfortunately, in the media, the social media, they are the Democrat communications department. They'll never admit they're wrong, and they've got the power to pretty well ensure that they're not proven wrong. So this is a culture war. Let's call it what it is. It's a culture war. And the left is on the side of this kind of lawlessness, whether it's President Biden or President Obama issuing executive orders that are totally contrary to the law, all the way down to this catch and release out of our criminal justice system in the southern border. We need order. We can't continue to live in this type of chaos.
Ultimately, though, don't you think that the midterms coming up just about a year from now will be a referendum on things like this?
Let's hope so. But again, you have to understand that the role that the mainstream and social media play in all of this. They are covering up for what we see clearly with our own eyes. You know, the tragedy in Waukesha never should have happened. Right. So I hope more Americans are waking up to the reality of what Democrat governance means and what the result of it is.
Well, they'll have to change the laws at the state level. Speaking of the state level, you're there in Wisconsin. Of course, Kenosha a year ago on fire. Kyle Rittenhouse was put on trial for his life. He was cleared on Friday of all charges. He argued self-defense. The jury bought it. They believed that he was telling the truth, ultimately found not guilty. Did his first interview with Tucker Carlson last night and spoke directly to the President of the United States, who accused him last year during the campaign of being a white supremacist. Watch this.
Mr. President, if I could say one thing to you, I would urge you to go back and watch the trial and understand the facts before you make a statement. It's actual malice, defaming my character for him to say something like that.
So, Senator, do you think Joe Biden's going to apologize?
I doubt it, but the good news is that we had Wisconsin jurors, just good folks that took their duty very seriously. They diligently deliberated, and I think they returned a good verdict. And we're going to see the same thing in Waukesha in terms of community coming together, doing the right thing, doing everything they can to heal. And that's what we need to pray. We need to pray for the healing of bodies. We need to pray for the healing of souls and for our communities, our state, and our nation.
What is your message? Thank you, Brian. What is your message to the moms and dads or the grandkids who lost loved ones?
Well, I guess just that. You're in our prayers. We do need to come together as a nation, as a state, as a community. We need to heal these deep divisions. So again, a lot of prayers, just a lot of words of condolences and comfort. I wish we could all do more, but that's about all we can do right now.
That reconciliation package that's coming your direction will include a provision on immigration, legalizing illegals that are here, even though the parliamentarian says it does not belong in a budget bill. What can you do as a Republican, knowing they just need a simple majority?
Well, continue to point out the fact that this should not be allowed in reconciliation. Again, the lawlessness of the Democrat Party. They don't abide by the rules. They'll try and skirt them every time. Let's hope the parliamentarian doesn't let them get away with it. Let's hope that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema stand by their pledge.
What about you? Are you going to get 6 more years? Are you going to try for 6 more?
I'll be making that decision in the next few weeks here.
Well,
one thing that will definitely drive it, though, is just the results of Democrat governance. This is a disaster for our nation.
Yeah. Even if you were thinking about not running again, do you feel like you have a responsibility now, especially with everything that's happening in Wisconsin and around our country?
It's quite honestly, if you're in a position to try and help things, would you walk away? That's certainly what's on my mind. I don't know that I can just simply walk away at this point in time.
Understood. All right. Joining us today from Oshkosh in Wisconsin. Senator, thank you very much. Have a great Thanksgiving week with your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.